I'm calling the meeting to order today. Thank you, August 14th. It goes opening ceremonies, roll call. Isn't that backwards or is that not backwards? It's fine. Opening ceremonies, we'll have a moment of reflection and I will lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sounds good.
God, sounds like Star Trek. Put your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Going where no man's going. Thank you. Roll call.
Ms. Metoyer?
Here.
Ms. Fleur? Here. Ms. Black? Ms. Yelsey?
Here.
Ms. Bartow? Here. Ms. Anderson? Here. Ms. Snell?
Here.
Dr. Navarro?
Here.
Okay, I need a motion and a second for adopting the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I heard it was moved by Mrs. Fleur, seconded by Mrs. Yelsey, but I knew there was a tie in there somewhere. We do have community input. Mrs. Fleur, since Mrs. Black isn't here yet, will you please read the stuff?
This is an opportunity for the public to address the board regarding items on the closed session agenda only. Each speaker has 3 minutes to address the board, and speakers may not cede unused time to other speakers. Per board policy 9323, there is a maximum of 20 minutes of comments per topic. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public comments depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to speak. When addressing the board, it is helpful if you state your name and address for the video record.
And since we moved and seconded it, all those in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Yeah, okay. Thank you.
It's early.
Really, it's pre-coffee. I just want a disclaimer. All righty. Mrs. Lees, you were here first. Through no other order.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's like been 26 years since I've been speaking before the Newport-Mesa Unified School District School Board, way back in like 94. And, but I think today I'm here. I got up early because I couldn't sleep. And I've got some comments that I want you to consider before you go back. I've been back there. I was here for 8 years. So there's more than 21,000 children and their parents, their teachers, their futures. 2 diverse communities, and that's what's before you today. I hope you feel the weight of your responsibility to truthfully evaluate the superintendent. It appears to many in our community that his contract is automatically renewed without a public vote by the board to ratify. That is ridiculous. This year, you must amend the contract so that the public has an opportunity, a window, to comment. We didn't have that opportunity. How can you have a superintendent under contract with an automatic renewal clause before you complete a performance evaluation? That's like giving our kids an allowance before they do their chores, or giving students grades before you grade their homework. Why don't you insist that he follow all of his contract deadlines so that you are transparent to the community in the review process? Why have you allowed him to ignore deadlines? I have gone over this many times. The deadlines on his contract, which state and articulate deadlines. What are his goals and objectives that he was supposed to give to you last July 2018? Are these measurable goals and objectives? They are not the current priorities, which you have yet to vote on. They're not measurable. Will trustees Anderson and Bartow be able to see the letter that you all wrote last year to the superintendent assessing his performance so that these trustees can understand the failures he had last year and the improvements you've asked him to make this year? Finally, on whose watch did the charter come into our district? One person. The superintendent you hired, who has been here for 7 years, he had 7 years to improve the quality of our underperforming schools, which allowed a window for the charter to come in and now take $2 million from the budget and also the expenses to repair Harper, which had been reported before but were ignored. I implore you, all of you, because you're trustees who were elected, be honest in your evaluation today. Accept the superintendent's failures. We deserve so much better. And clean up the evaluation process. Stick to a schedule and be transparent to the community about measurable goals and objectives so that all kids, that means the kids on the west side too, in Newport-Mesa Unified School District have a first-class education. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Mrs. Blackwell.
Good morning. I looked at the priorities yesterday on the board website. I had the academics and the behavior part, and then the community part. And if I looked at A3, what support has been given based on my personal conversations regarding the morale of the teachers in the district. In the last week, I had lunch with a friend who said, I'm dreading going back to school. And I'm like, why? She goes, oh, this curriculum. I ran into someone at church on Sunday. I'm dreading the exact same words, going back to school because of the curriculum. She's a K-5 teacher. I ran into someone at Starbucks yesterday. I said, oh, how are you doing? She goes, oh, I'm just dreading. All three of them use dreading and curriculum. That speaks volumes to me. I never, in all 27 summers I had off, did I ever dread going back to school. Was I sad to see school the summer end with my children? Yeah, but I never dreaded going back. I looked forward to going back. This is just three, and they all are at different sites, all different grade levels. And I thought, how sad that this is what they're looking at. What is wrong with this district that you have teachers dreading going back? It's the morale, and it starts at the top. Secondly, under the academic section of A4, where it talks about being in a safe environment, I don't call rat-infested schools safe environments. There's a rat issue going on. It needs to be addressed. OSHA's already come out. Please get on top of that. And again, all this comes back to you, Dr. Navarro. This is under your watch. These things are happening. You're the top person in this district. The buck stops with you, hence the letter my mom and I wrote about that whole situation, time to step down. And looking under behavior, under B1, I've been extremely disappointed being on the mental health task force. It's been such a disappointment. The first meeting, they had tons of people there, counselors, social workers. By the last meeting, there was more public people there than district employees. Where is your priority? Just because there hasn't been another suicide since the one at Corona Del Mar doesn't mean there won't be one. It's so sad. I would encourage you to get the book called In the Surf. It's on Amazon, In the Surf. It's 99 cents if you have a Kindle. My brother wrote the foreword to it. The book was dedicated to him. If you read that book, you will understand the crisis this country is in. The other thing is, I don't think there's a complete lack of support for K-6 mental health. I mean, there's kids that are just falling through the cracks right, left, and center. And then when it comes to the PBIS, California school was a model school. We were the ones back in the program first came out that they were literally taking our stuff and sending it around the United States. You have teachers, you have great teachers that are willing to do it the right way. How it's being implemented right now is not the right way. And then fiscal responsibility, there's just so many things not being done right around here. I just came to start the list. I'd be here for 5 minutes. Anyway, restorative justice does not mean giving someone a raise and a bonus who doesn't deserve it. So I would appreciate you to really think about what your evaluation is, because the score should be an F or a 0. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty.
Madam President?
Yes.
I just want to point out one greatly erroneous comment that was made, and that's about the state curriculum. We are implementing the state curriculum, okay? There is no district in the state that's not supposed to implement what we're implementing. You know, it is a challenging curriculum. It is difficult. Our teachers do have to have capacity in different areas. That is true. But it's not a decision that this board could make.
Thank you. All righty. I wanted to mention to the public that there will be no readout from closed session for this time. At this point, it's 8:54, and we will be recessing into closed session. So, ladies and gentlemen,